What's up, guys? This is Mad Squash 924 here. Welcome back to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. This is part 34, I believe, of our Let's Play thus far. We are inside of the Tusken Raider complex, whatever complex it could be, I guess. Estate, house, whatever you want to call it. We're here with the Sand People Chieftain, and we are about to present them the Great Dragon Pearl. The Sand People Chieftain seems grateful to you, or at least less inclined to smash your head open like a pocky grub seed.
What do you wish to ask of him, Master?
Well, first, I would like information on the Sand People culture.
This will be a very sensitive topic, Master. You will want to be careful with your questions or risk offending him. Not that that is much of a worry.
Naturally. Tell me the history of your clan.
Translation. Translation. You have been told that to be considered worthy of hearing the histories, you need to bring him a dragon pearl from a crate dragon. Translation.
Which we have.
Says the discussion is closed until you fulfill this condition. He thinks you are just making fun of his traditions.
No, we have one. Here it is.
Translation. Translation. He is stupefied, Master. He never thought you could return with such an item. Such a thing has not been done in many years. Translation. He will allow you to meet the Storyteller, but also gives a warning. If you dare to repeat the histories incorrectly, you will be killed. Translation. The Storyteller will be summoned to one of the rooms here in the Enclave. He seems to think this is a great honor for you, Master.
Okay, that's awesome. Tell him farewell then.
Translation. Translation. We are free to leave.
That's really cool. Let's talk to the Storyteller and learn the history of the Sand People based off of their own lips. Compared to the warriors that you've encountered, the Sand People's Storyteller is relatively calm in his movements and speech, but he still regards you coldly.
Translation. He identifies himself as the Storyteller, Master. He has been told of your warrior skills and will speak the history to you.
I mean, it's technically it's a great honor. I'm glad that he can present it to us, you know? What does he record?
Translation. Translation. There is only one accepted history, passed orally to each successive generation. Translation. A book or datapad can be taken away, cheapening the value of what it contains. To commit it to paper or storage is to remove it from the people.
Okay. What topics can I choose from then?
Translation. Translation. You may choose to hear the history, or you may choose not to. Their history is a single entity that cannot be partitioned. Translation. The only exception is in continuing the tales once they have begun. If you leave, when you return, he will continue from where he left off.
Please begin the history then, Storyteller.
Translation. Translation. It begins with the ancient times. They were not sand people, for there was no sand. The land was green with life, and they walked without wrappings. Translation. Though the land was beautiful, they lived apart from the land. They built their walls high and saw beyond the horizon. They dared to reach the stars. Translation. There are no words for how long ago this was. It was before the outsiders, before the abduction, before the cities fell, before the builders.
Huh. The builders are something we know of from that droid back in Dantooine, so it's interesting to know. Please continue.
Translation. Translation. His arrogant people touched the stars, and this sin drew the attention of the builders. The builders did not touch the stars, they lashed them to millstones. Translation: great demons of metal stripped the world of its riches until all that was left was the green of the ground. The great cities were lifted away. Translation: those that had used the wealth were taken along with it. Transgressors abducted to serve past the sky, seeding the stars with penitent, adaptable slaves.
It does make a little bit of sense, though, why back on Dantooine, when we talked to the Builder's droid, that one of the languages he spoke was, in fact, Sand People. So it makes sense.
Translation:
It correlates to correctly, you know.
Translation: there came a time when the builders were also judged for their crimes. After generations, a plague weakened them, and the time of the Great War began. Translation: the builders faltered, and his people realized why they had been punished, so that they understood the crime, and would now strike down the greater offender. Translation: they worked chaos in the machines, so they destroyed themselves. The builders fought back, laying waste to the green that had been misused with fire from above. Translation: soil became glass, grinding to sand, but the fight was long planned, and his people were safe. Deep in cave homes carved from valley wall, they were free.
It's interesting.
Editing, if I may, Master. This section of his tale details several millennia of the long walk, their nomadic wanderings as they accept their identity in a desert world. Rather than strain my circuits on his dialect, might we just assume there was much fighting over who has the biggest bantha and move on to more recent things?
No, I kind of want to hear it all.
Resignation. Very well, Master. Translation: the tribes spread far, distant from each other, but all as sand people, and all cherished the land that remained. The sand would not be misused. Translation: then machines fell from the stars again, outsiders like you that brazenly walked apart from the land. And greater still was the insult to come. Translation: these outsiders reminded them of their past transgression, of the time when they too walked apart from land. The outsiders, your kind, looked like their ancient abducted. Translation: so it is to the current sons that the Sand People hate all outsiders and give them no footing. You come again, time after time, adaptable slaves to the machine.
Is there anything further than that?
Editing. The last 1,000 years are full of conflicts with different groups of attempted planetary settlers, all of whom are poorly described, long dead, and likely untraceable. I believe I have truncated it down to the usable bits in what was already said. I hope it is enough, Master.
Okay. Can I ask more questions?
Cautionary. I should warn you, Master, that any questioning of their interpretation may be seen as trying to change the meaning of what was said. Clarification. They may consider this to be speaking the words in error, a blasphemy they would attempt to kill you for.
Right. We can ask about the enslavement, I suppose.
Clarification. I believe they were occupied by this technologically superior species for a substantial period. Stripping an entire planet of usable resources would have taken generations.
Well, how many people were taken off world?
Translation. Translation. He has no number. He claims that those that were taken were examples of the worst of his kind, arrogant and uncaring of the land. Doubtful, Master. This is just another distortion due to their demonization of the builders. It's like claiming an aspect of his people were taken, not actual individuals. Clearly, history has colored his view. Of course, only the inferior meatbags were taken. The remaining were his ancestors, after all. It must have been special.
Why would the invaders have even captured them in the first place?
Obvious. The same reason Zerka Corporation is attempting it now. Expanding empires need tremendous amounts of resources.
Let's ask about a different part of their history.
Cautionary.
That's fine. What about the ancient times?
Clarification. It would appear that they once had a thriving technologically advanced society, but were wiped out by a much more sophisticated alien species.
Do the builders resemble any modern species?
Translation. Translation. He only understands the builders as an iconic force meant to test the resolve of his people. He is not making sense, Master. Clarification. They claim their stories are repeated unchanged, but they have demonized these builders. In their minds, they wreaked such havoc they could not possibly be flesh and blood.
They wouldn't have an image because it's only oral, so we shouldn't even ask this. I probably would offend them. Same with this, because it's questioning their views. Same again, questioning their views. Well, that's about a different part of the history, I suppose. The Great War.
The occupying force suffered some sort of species-wide plague that lowered their numbers over time. His people used this extended weakness to sabotage their larger ships. The response of the builders appears to have been to lay waste to the entire surface of Tatooine.
How long did it take to repel such a powerful species?
Doubting. They didn't, Master. They struck a blow, but the storyteller only believes they won because the builders were gone when they emerged from their caves. That does not mean they defeated anyone. It seems clear that the builders simply sterilized their problem and left. The enemy judged them not worthy to fight.
What kind of weapon would even do so much damage then?
Clarification. I may not have properly conveyed how long they fought with the builders. Given time, any number of armaments could destroy a world. Hypothesis. Perhaps this is another distortion. Their climate may have begun to fail due to their unrestrained development even before the builders arrived. Looking back thousands of years later, such a shift could easily be attributed to the much-hated conquerors.
And we kind of know how they survived the attack. They went to hiding. That's about a different part of the history. The long walk.
Master, I refuse to inconvenience you with this. He spouted names of petty tribal fights in deserts so distant they might as well be across the galaxy. Really, Master, I'm sure it's important to him, but it has nothing of value that you could ever put to use.
Well then, I guess we'll be going then.
I will ask whatever you wish, Master.
Alright, let's get out of here.
Translation. Translation. We are free to leave.
It's pretty cool. Get to know their history. We could theoretically, do something that irritates them and then could kill all the sand people. However, I don't know. I wouldn't really do that if I could help it. Regardless, let's head back to Anchorhead. It will be a little bit of a long walk, I guess, but not terrible. Hopefully we don't get attacked by any more sand people along the way of the other clans. The other sand people clans. We'll just be on our way. We'll use our night speed, make it faster. I would... Ooh, okay. I would go back and just fast travel to the Ebon Hawk. However, it's not going to matter too much. All things considering where we have to go meet right outside the Anchorhead anyway. So, whatever. Not a big deal. The hell was that? That was weird. We're almost there, though. Some more raids are traveling about. That's nice. They're kind of in the way. Don't really want to hunt them. Don't really care that much to hunt them. For what? Not a lot of credits to hunt them? Like, who cares? You know? Don't bother the wildlife, I say. Just go forward with our life. One thing is for certain, we are pretty much done with Tatooine for the most part. We just gotta wrap up a couple of things and we're getting out of this place. We have to talk to Jawa. We have to talk to Bastil's mother, which we'll bring Bastil in to do that with. And then other than that, we're getting out of here, I think. Oh, we also have to talk to Zerka Corp about getting paid for taking care of the Tusken Raiders as well. You of your kind, Isis of Jawa would thank you for what was done. Mine have returned because of you. It was agreed, as Isis hoped it was. I have things to give you. Take, and be welcome. Thank you. That's fine. I'll be going then. You are a good friend of the Jawas. We will remember when you kind are gone. Ask if you need any more of anything. Thank you. What'd you give us? An Ichani shield. Okay. Could sell it, I guess. It's not the most fantastic thing in the world, but whatever. I'm actually gonna take out HK at this point. We've had HK for a long time. I'm gonna bring Bastila in. I think she has a level. She does. What to give her? Could give her advanced lightsaber throw, which really isn't anything special. Really isn't. Probably should do stasis. Stasis is good. Yeah. Can she use these yet? No, she cannot. She can use a Jedi Knight robe now instead of the Dark Jedi Knight robe. Wow, I forgot her dexterity was 20. That's ridiculous.
What?
We should probably ask her even about the holocron.
How can I help?
Hey, do you want to talk?
About my mother? I'm unsure. I seem to find it difficult to remain objective when it comes to her. I find that disturbing.
I gotta give the holocron
Think
to
I
her?
should?
I mean, I kind of think you should consider it.
That would just lead to another argument. How I always despised talking to her. I'll think about it. I should try and remember my training. I should be able to let go of this, but I can't. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Let's keep going.
Interesting. So she's at least considering it, at least. Well, we'll go see her right now anyways. Okay, who's lost? You gotta be kidding. She really doesn't want to see her mom, clearly. Right. Hello.
Alright. Have you even looked for the holocron yet?
I have the holocron, Mother. I'm just not sure I want to give it to you.
And why not? Would you deny me even that?
I've never denied you anything, Mother. You may think I don't remember what it was like before I left for the Order, but I do. You were the one who pushed Father to go on one treasure hunt after the other. You loved living in wealth. You think I don't remember the fights? You were eager to send me to the Jedi even though I didn't want to go. You took Father away from me. And now this holocron is all I have of him.
Fool girl. You have a strange way of remembering things. That wasn't...
No, I don't wish to argue with you anymore, Mother. It's time we parted ways now, for both our benefit.
I mean, perhaps you should actually listen to what she has to say.
You don't know her. My mother
I
is
don't.
notoriously deceptive when she wants something. Why should she have the holocron?
Is it too difficult to believe that I am a dying woman who simply wishes to see her husband one last time?
I find it difficult to believe anything you say, Mother.
Well, I guess it already sounds like you made up your mind then.
You're right. It shames me, but I find it difficult to let go of the past. I'm sorry, Mother.
I was hard on you, dear. I wasn't a very good mother to you. I know that. Your father loved you so. He wanted you to be just like him. He wanted to take you on his hunts, but I said they were too dangerous.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely a dangerous
I
occupation.
always tried to keep him from the dangerous ones, but he would have none of it. It was a reckless life we led. Always moving. I didn't want that for you.
So that's why you gave me to the Order?
What do your father and I have to show for all those years of hunting? Nothing. That was no life for anyone. Especially not someone as gifted as you, your father. He spent all his last years trying to pay for my treatments. That's why he went for the pearls. I begged him not to, but
Your treatments.
I'm dying, Bastila. I did not lie about that. It's been a long time in the coming, and there's really nothing that can be done anymore. I told your father to let me go, but you know how he was. Stubborn, like you.
I'm so sorry, Mother. I don't know what to say.
Keep the holocron, Bastila. It would do me good to know you have it. This talking to you. This is what I really needed before I
I know. Thank you. I'm glad we talked too.
Oh, no. You said you had important business, and you were never one to mince words. You there. You take care of my daughter, you hear me?
Yeah, of course. Of course I will.
That's good. I'll feel a lot better knowing there's someone to watch her.
Where are you going to go?
It doesn't matter, dear. Don't you worry about me.
Here, take these 500 credits. That's all I have.
Well, where'd you get
Go
that?
to Coruscant and find a doctor. I'll meet you there.
Is that my money?
After what I have to do.
But I already told you there's nothing that can...
Please take it. I want to see you again when we can talk.
All right, I will. You do what you have to, Bastila. You go make your father and I proud.
I'll try. Farewell, Mother.
That better have been your credits and not mine. Have 8,900 credits. Maybe it was hers.
How can I help?
So, what do you think?
Yes. That brought me a lot of peace. More than I thought it would have. Thank you for urging me toward it. After all my training, I would have thought it would have been easier. Apparently, I still have much to learn.
Good. Well then. Okay. I'll talk to you in a second. We'll just get out of this cantina because, well, this cantina is, well, very dim and dark. We'll get some better lighting out in the sun. Right. Now, what did you want to talk to me about? You kind of look like you have something you want to tell me.
I've been trying to come up with the best way to say this for some time, but I suppose I should just come out and say it. The truth is, I have come to depend on you. Not just for the sake of the mission, but for my own sake as well. I'm glad you're with us.
Oh. Thank you. Didn't realize you were going to compliment
yes. Surely that's not so surprising.
me. Well, it kinda is.
No, I'm not. Why must you make this so difficult for me? Can't you just accept a simple compliment?
I don't know. Well, well, thank you for the thought, regardless.
I can be a bit taciturn. I know you must be getting sick of my lectures about the dark side and everything else. I spent all my years being hounded by my instructors, being told so often how gifted and important I was until I was sick of it. I remember when I was younger, I used to swear that I would never become as self-absorbed and stodgy as the Jedi Masters. It's ironic, really.
I disagree. I don't think you're self-absorbed and stodgy.
That's kind of you to say, but I know for myself it's not really true. Being controlled has kept everyone around me at an arm's length. Even those like yourself who are most in need of my understanding and compassion. Maybe it's time to change that. You deserve to know how much I respect and admire you. I had to tell you how much I care for you. As a friend, of course.
Well, could be more than friends, Bastila.
Please, it's not allowed. I have to remain true to the Jedi ideal. If this is going to cause a problem, maybe I shouldn't have said anything.
No, I'm glad you did. It's fine. I care for you too. As a friend, obviously.
Well, that was not nearly so difficult as I feared. Thank you for hearing me out.
Sure.
I feel much better, but enough soul searching for now. We should probably continue on with our mission.
Cool. Well, let's get the hell off of this rock. Oh, well, I mean, we have to talk to Zerka too, I guess, but we'll get off this rock once we talk to Zerka. There's a swoop racing place. We just gotta take a turn over here. What the hell's this? Forgive me for the intrusion, human. My name is Seni Vek. I believe you dropped this data pad and I wish to return it to you. I'm sorry? I don't think I dropped anything. I'm certain you did, human. Please, take the data pad. It's yours, I'm sure. Okay. Thank you. My pleasure, human. You should examine it to make sure it is not broken. It did fall out of your pocket after all. Goodbye, human. Okay. This datapack contains a single short cryptic message. The Gino Harden say to come see Hulis on Manan. Come alone or not at all. Well, we'll keep that in mind for when we go to Manan. Let's go to the Zerka office. Oh yeah, Griff is here, forgot.
Greetings again from the offices of Zerga Corporation. Is this about bounties or something else?
I have the Gaffy 6 to redeem for the bounties.
I see that, but do you have the all-important Chieftain's Gaffy? That was what you agreed to get for us.
Yes, it's right here.
That is a very big headache that you've removed. I'm sure there are still sand people out there, but they'll be quieter now. I think I'll give you a bonus for this. You've more than lived up to your side of the bargain. Zerga Corporation thanks you.
Perhaps I can ask for more, considering I did all this, and maybe we can do some more things in the future.
It would be valuable to have someone on call if the Sand People made another incursion. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yes. Here's an additional reward. Once again, Zerga Corporation thanks you.
Thank you. 700 credits. Some XP. It could be more credits, truth be told. We're gonna take T3 out, bring Mission in, just so we can talk to her brother with her present.
What? Ah, just the person I was hoping to see.
Save it, Griff. I'm not talking to you. I want no part of whatever you're involved in.
Okay, sis, I see you're still mad. Fair enough. I don't think you can help me with this anyway. It's more of a job for your friend here.
Okay, so what do you want?
As you may know, tack glands can be refined to a very potent powder. It's the primary ingredient in Teresian ale. That's what makes it so strong. Of course, now that Taris is pretty much wiped from the face of the map, Teresian ale has become somewhat scarce and very, very valuable. Luckily, I know the secret recipe.
Okay, so what do you want to do? Open a bar or something?
I know this guy. He's with the Exchange. Now, if I give him a small sample of Teresian ale, he says he can synthesize it and reproduce it in mass quantities. Problem is, I need one of those tack glands to make the first batch, and now that Taris is a smoking ruin, the only place to find tack is on Kashyyyk. If you can get your hands on one of those tack glands, I'll make it worth your while.
Griff, are you blind? Can't you see you're talking to a Jedi? We're out here trying to save the galaxy. can't waste time on this.
Please, you have to help me. I promised this guy from the exchange a sample of Torresian ale. If I don't come through for him, he's gonna break my legs. Or worse.
Okay. Well, look. I'll get the tack lens for you, considering I'm going to Kashyyyk anyways. So it doesn't really matter to me that much. And if it works out for you, great. If it doesn't, who cares?
Yeah, I knew you'd come through for me. You won't regret this. You'll see. Just don't take too long, okay? This guy from the exchange could stop by any day. I kind of told him I already had the stuff, so if he shows up and I'm empty-handed, well, let's just say I really, really hope it doesn't come to that.
Right. Okay. Let's get to the ship. We'll get to the ship anyways before we end today's episode. And then we'll have our talks with our entire party. Oh, we could actually sell some raid heads too, now that I'm thinking about it, since we're passing by the hunting lodge. And we can also talk to the party in the next episode when that happens. I heard about the fight, the big fight on the dunes. You're the talk of the lodge. Killed a dragon. How about that? Yeah, I got stuff to sell you. Do you? Well, let's have a look. Raid plates. Ah, the bread and butter of the hunter. I'll take whatever you have off your hands for a fair price. Alright, let's give him these skulls. Because arguably, he probably gives you the best deal for them. 24 credits. I mean, it's something. Theoretically, you can farm the raids, and you just gotta zone in and out constantly, and then you can kill like 4 or 5 of them, zone in and out again, and then you can keep rinsing and repeating, and just do that. You can make a lot of money doing that this way. However, it's not it's probably, I don't know, it's kind of quick, I guess. Theoretically speaking. Regardless. We're not going to be doing that anymore. And we'll end today's episode here. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. If you did, feel free to leave a like, leave a comment, tell me what you guys think of today's episode, and what you're looking forward to in the next. If you're new to my channel or watch me for a little while, feel free to subscribe to me, MadSquash924, and don't forget to ring the bell to get notified of my latest videos. And I'll talk to you guys next time on Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. And now we have Giska on our ship. We'll deal with that stuff when the time comes. Bye-bye.